What's good, everyone? BBK Dragoon here with a really solid PvP hand cannon that anyone can get quite easily. This is Up The Ante, the legendary hand cannon that can be purchased from the Crucible Quartermaster. I've had a lot of viewers mentioning that they don't have a go-to PvP weapon yet. My goal was to find an easy-to-obtain gun that could perform well in PvP. Up The Ante is a fantastic gun to pick up for a new player who maybe doesn't have any of the big three PvP weapons yet, like Red Death, Thorn, or The Last Word. While it won't shine as bright as the dominant exotic PvP weapons right now, Up The Ante can hold its own in the Crucible and can take the player as far as they want to go. The stats are pretty solid, and you have the option to reroll the perks. Mind you, the stock variant isn't a terrible perk set. It certainly isn't the best, but it is still good enough that if you just want to buy the weapon and immediately jump into the Crucible, you'd be just fine. There are plenty of players who don't like messing around with reforging, and if you're in that camp, then again, Up The Ante will still be a solid PvP starter gun. All of the clips in this video are with an ascended stock Up The Ante, meaning I haven't re-rolled this hand cannon for better perks. The gun will do 51 body damage or 77 precision damage, which is headshots. The way that breaks down for a kill is 1 body shot plus 2 headshots will get you a kill, or 4 body shots will get you a kill, or 3 body shots and 1 headshot. The strengths of this weapon are its excellent equip and ready speed, like ridiculously fast when readying and swapping this weapon. The stat for this is absolutely one of the highest in the category. It has a decent impact. In fact, it's the same impact as Thorn, which is pretty cool. It has the same rate of fire stat as Thorn, which is a rate of fire stat of 32. It has a really high aim assist stat of 76, and that is 16 more than Thorn. The weaknesses of the gun are that its base range stat is below average, but it can be increased all the way up to 47 with the right perk set. With the default small bore, it's got an above average range. Small bore is one of the perks that you get as a default option without re-rolling the gun. The second weakness is the standard perk set that comes with this gun doesn't realize the potential of the weapon. They're very average, if not below average perks that come with the weapon right out of the gate. And finally, it doesn't have the benefit of an exotic perk like Thorn's damage over time, or The Last Word's hipfire bonuses. But that's actually not that bad for something that you're getting from a quartermaster. If you were to re-roll this gun, which again, for the cheap, just give me this gun, let's go player, don't worry about this. But if you have enough motes of light and the time and energy, I'd highly encourage you to re-roll this hand cannon if you think you'll be using it for some time. In the first perk slot, you'd want to look for Zen Moment, which means causing damage increases stability. Battle Runner is a nice second option, which means, when you get kills with this weapon, you get increased movement speed. And the other first perk that I'd select or have would maybe be Final Round. I don't really think so, because this weapon has 12 shots in the magazine, and it would take forever to get to the bottom. So I'd go for Zen Moment or Battle Runner. The default Hot Swap perk isn't that good of a perk. Readying this weapon grants a brief period of bonus accuracy. You will hardly notice this. While it is beneficial if you're somebody who swaps to your shotgun or your sniper pretty often, I didn't notice this as a really apparent perk that I'm like, this was great, I love that I have it. For your second 3 perks, if you were to re-roll, you're looking for Braced Frame, or Rifled Barrel, or Reinforced Barrel, or Small Bore. Small bore is the default that comes with the gun when you buy it from the quartermaster, and it gives increased range and stability with slower reload and a slower magazine. The reload speed already is not that bad even with small bore, but what I did to counter the slower reload with small bore equipped was playing with my Gunslinger Hunter. There's a perk on the Gunslinger class called Chain of Woes, which means precision kills increase a weapon reload speed, and it can stack up to 3 times. That counteracted the slower reload speed of small bore, but when I played with the weapon on my Warlock, I found the reload to never be something that I was worrying about. It was not that bad. For the second perk, the stock one that comes with the weapon right off buying it is Army of One, meaning unassisted kills reduce grenade and melee cooldown. It's not terrible, but it isn't that amazing either. I would go for Hidden Hand or Luck in the Chamber if you were going to re-roll this gun for the second perk slot. Hidden Hand gains better target acquisition, which makes the already solid aim assist on this weapon even better, or Luck in the Chamber, which means One random bullet deals considerable bonus damage. I don't really like Luck in the Chamber, and this weapon has a magazine size of 12 or 11 based on if you're using small bore or not. It's, I can't argue with the fact that Luck in the Chamber can be beneficial, but I don't like random factors. I would much rather have Hidden Hand. So dream roll on this weapon for me would be Zen Moment, any of the second 3 that I talked about, braced frame, rifled barrel, or reinforced barrel, or small bore, I guess that's 4, and then Hidden Hand. As a stock hand cannon, it performs pretty well. It's inexpensive, it's easy to get, and a solid starting point for players who don't yet have weapons like Red Death, Thorn, or The Last Word. In PvE, it's also a pretty solid hand cannon. With a magazine size of 11 or 12, depending on your perk set, you can certainly put pressure down range. Doesn't have an elemental bonus, so that is a detractor from here. Look, is this as good as Thorn, The Last Word, Hawkmoon, Mythoclast, Mida? No, it's not. But it is capable of holding its own. I felt really comfortable with it during my matches, and I didn't feel the awkward handicapped feeling that is usually had when playing with lower tier PvP weapons. I felt like a threat to the enemy team and their goals, so long as I kept track of how much ammo I had left, and understanding that my time to kill was going to be slower than most of the weapons on the battlefield if I wasn't landing my headshots, if I was not getting the 1 body shot, 2 headshots to kill opponents. It takes a little bit longer to kill with this gun. This is a really solid vendor PvP weapon, and can be a great platform for you to participate in PvP if you don't have any weapons yet. If you're somebody who already has some of the top tier PvP weapons, you probably don't need to pick this gun up. It's a good hand cannon, I've had a lot of fun using it, but again, this is really aimed at a player who needs a PvP weapon to just play Crucible with on their way up to getting the top tier exotics right now. It should be really obvious, but in order to buy PvP weapons from the Crucible Quartermaster, you need to be Crucible Reputation rank 3 or above, and you'll need 150 marks. That's not that hard to get. Let's say you're somebody who's just finished the story, you don't have a good PvP weapon, and you're wondering how I can get up to Crucible rank 3 real quick and get those marks. Easiest way, use the Stranger's Rifle in PvP. You get the Stranger's Rifle from completing the story. It's a great gun in PvP, and then complete the daily Crucible bounties. You don't have to do all of them, but every day there's a handful of easy ones that you can knock out in 4 or 5 games. Make sure you have completed the Nightfall before turning in those Crucible bounties, because the Nightfall buff gives you 25% additional XP and reputation. So make sure you complete that, and within a few weeks, you'll be Crucible rank 3. You'll have more than enough marks to purchase Up the Ante, and give it a go. I really liked this hand cannon. It was one of the more enjoyable reviews that I've done of kind of the mid-tier PvP section. It can hold its own, and it doesn't require you to spend a bunch of motes reforging it. And if you do, you can get a really solid hand cannon if you get the right perk set. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please let me know with a like or a comment, and enjoy the rest of your week.